Okay, guys, and we're back with another episode of the Seth Solo Side Quest. I'm Seth from the Lonely Stoner podcast, and it's episode 48 of my side quest. Now, we're going to get straight into it with the news around Turki Al-Sheikh partnering with Dana White to create a new boxing league, I guess you could call it. Was something for me that came out of nowhere, in my opinion, because you're seeing Turki Al-Sheikh in bed with all these other promoters. I was surprised that he would partner with Dana White to create a new boxing league, and the aim for Dana White, I know this is the aim for Dana White, that he wants to put all of these promoters out of business, and he wants his boxing league to be the only show in town. That's what he wants to do, because he done it with the UFC, right? In terms of, he bought out Pride, bought out Strike Force, bought out WEC, bought out all the competition. And by the time Bellator came around, Bellator was a far distant number two, where there was no competition. Same with World Series of Fighting when they got bought out and turned into PFL. These guys aren't even competition to the UFC at now. But Pride and Strike Force at the time were a big competition for the UFC, and he bought them out. So no doubt will Dana White want to take out Matchroom, Top Rank, Golden Boy, Queensberry, PBC, all these sort of promoters that have been operating in this archaic format where it looks like the Dana White and Turki Al-Sheikh's new boxing league won't be subject to the governing bodies. They won't be answering to them. They're going to have one belt, and whoever is the champion at that weight class will be the best in the world. Now, at the start, when they first start this promotion, they're probably not going to be able to sign the big names in the sport. Players like Usyk, Canelo, Gervonta Davis, these sorts of guys have transcended something like the Dana White and Turki Al-Sheikh's boxing league. But and in terms of pay as well, these guys will be far too expensive for what Dana White would want to pay them. But that being said as well, there will be low-level guys with maybe not much of an amateur background that will want to fight often, and want to get paid and earn a living. Dana White will track these sorts of guys. And he'll build them up, and who knows? We don't know. I don't think the official name of the company has been announced, and I don't know if the weight divisions haven't been announced either. Me personally, I would love them to keep boxing weight classes, because there's more weight divisions, and you can have more like 2-weight world champions and cross weight division fights and stuff. Sticking to the UFC weight divisions, I wouldn't really be a fan of, in my opinion. I'm not a huge fan of them anyway, because it's not really uniform. It's a weight division every £10 up until you get to lightweight, then it's £15 to welterweight, then another 15 to middleweight, then 20 to light heavyweight, and then 60 to heavyweight. It's a bit insane. But I prefer boxing where they've got more weight classes, heavyweight, cruiserweight, light heavyweight, super middleweight, super welterweight, super lightweight, super featherweight. Do you know what I mean? And on and on and on. But I wouldn't expect Dana White and Turki Al-Sheikh to be signing major, world champions, undisputed world champions off the rip. I think the way Dana White is as well, he'll want to build this up. Because I don't think it'd be the smart thing to do, even though I would say from a business point of view, but this business doesn't even need to make loads of money initially. Turki Al-Sheikh is bankrolling this entire thing, like he's been doing with all of boxing. He's been bankrolling it, so if you lose money, you lose money. He's got more of it. He's got a money printing machine, this guy, right? Be very interesting to see the sort of names they're able to sign off the rip, the sort of shows they'll be putting on, because this isn't new to Dana White in terms of boxing, because obviously he comes from boxing and he said it's his first love. And obviously you have boxing events on UFC Fight Pass. You have those Hollywood fight nights, which I do actually watch from time to time on Fight Pass when I'm editing these videos or playing WMMA or FM or whatever. And they're okay events. They're quite small scale. I kind of like them. They're small sort of regional shows. I like that sort of format. But I imagine Dana White has got something bigger in store. Dana does like to go big or go home. That's, the way he is, no doubt. But yeah, like I said, be very interested to see the sort of guys able to sign off rip. I don't think they'll be getting the hugest names in the sport, but we'll see, because Dana White's, he's a businessman. Turkey Al-Sheikh is a rich man. I would want to see maybe they use like the Ring Championship. Maybe would be an interesting move, because obviously Turkey Al-Sheikh owns the Ring magazine now, and they are world championships with a bit of history now. They were never really respected, really, if we're being honest. They were never really respected, and rightfully so, because they just, I mean, like all of these companies, but they're all just made up belts, right? But yeah, that would make sense, where Turkey Al-Sheikh owns the company already, and they have had some world champions in the past. But yeah, we'll see, because Turkey Al-Sheikh, he's got money to burn. But like I said, it was a confusing move, because why would you spend all of this money putting money in these promoters' pockets just to start a boxing league with Dana White, and the ultimate goal to put them out of business? Well, very weird to me. Very weird to me. But I guess short term, he wanted to save boxing and make sure there was something for him to take over when he wanted to. Rather than, well, I mean, it does make sense, because rather than Turkey Al-Sheikh partnering with Matchroom, partnering with Queensberry, partnering with Top Rank, he can just start his own boxing league. And it'll be his own format. He'll be in control. It won't be a co-promotion. Even though these co-promotions, let's be honest, Turkey Al-Sheikh, everyone knows Turkey Al-Sheikh is running the show. When it's a co-promotion, quote unquote, co-promotion with Matchroom, everyone knows Turkey. Like in the press conferences, they're all like, "We want to thank His Excellency Turkey Al-Sheikh because he's bankrolling the whole thing." Of course, you want to thank him, bro, because without him, you guys aren't making this fight. But yeah, we'll see. Turkey Al-Sheikh, very rich guy, and he wants to take over boxing. So let's see if he can do it. He can do it. He's already done it. But this new boxing league, I'm really excited for it. I think Dana White's great at putting on the matches that people want to see. You would never see a situation like, actually, you would. Let's be honest, you would. I mean, it's not been as dragged out as like a Floyd v Pacquiao. I was going to say, you would never see a Floyd v Pacquiao sort of situation in the UFC, where, it's just dragged out and they both fight other guys. But that's kind of what's happening with John Jones and Tom Aspinall. Now, it's not happened for as long. Floyd v Pacquiao, was going on for the better part of 5, 6, 7 years before they fought. Tom Aspinall and John Jones has been a couple of years, but it's getting on that way. And John Jones isn't a spring chicken, same way Floyd wasn't a spring chicken. Oh, well, I think Pacquiao might have been older than him, actually. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. That's cap. That's not right. But, yeah, Pacquiao's younger than Floyd. But do you know what I'm saying? Where, it's just getting delayed, and then they eventually fight, and both guys are arguably out of their prime. Floyd was closer to his prime, but still not at the peak of his powers, even though he carried on to fight for a couple more years. But Manny was probably past his prime. But I still say that. But Manny still went on to lose that fight and then come back and win world titles and fight world champions and fight in pay-per-view main events. So you can't knock Pacquiao too much. But you get my point, where these are super fights that everyone wanted to see happen years ago, but never happened due to the politics of boxing. Dana White will try and remove that, but it's impossible, where you've got variables such as fighters involved. These guys aren't slaves. You can't force them to fight. There is still obviously contract negotiations, etc., etc. But that kind of helps with being backed by Turkey Al-Sheikh, because say a fighter wants to fight, name your number, he names it, Turkey says, cool, let's pay it, make the fight happen. Just like that. But I will see. I'm super excited for it. I'll be interested to see where it's shown in terms of a distribution deal. Obviously, the UFC have UFC Fight Pass. Will Turkey Al-Sheikh build like the Ring magazine streaming service for these fights? Would love to see that. It looks like I saw reports that ESPN is not re-signing their boxing deal with Top Rank, and UFC may be re-signing with ESPN+. So there may be room on ESPN for this new boxing league as well. So Like I've said a million times in this video already, let's see what happens. But yeah, be super interesting to see. And I'm excited to see what they've got in stock, Dana White and Turki Al-Sheikh. But yeah, that's it from me. Another episode of the Side Quest in the bag, episode 48. And I'm out. Peace.